I'd like to begin a different conversation.
I've worked with 500 companies all over the world. I've coached thousands of leaders. This movement needs some soul.
What is the internal mindset that stands in the way of us finding happiness? What do I want my legacy to be when I'm no longer in this company? What are the internal mindsets that are in the way of humanity achieving collective well-being?
I think the true source of greatness as a leader, the true source of greatness is something even more simple than that.
This belief that happiness is out there is so dangerous because we all know that happiness is actually in here. It's something we cultivate in our inner life regardless of what's happening out there.
You see, I believe we live in one of the most critical windows in human history.
There's a longing in the world, which is people want more from work and more from their buying than they're getting. They want an experience of meaning and purpose.
Now, when I'm looking back on my life, why will it have mattered that I was here?
When you're retired and long gone from this company, what do you want to be the legacy that you left in this business? What do you want to be the legacy in this community, in this world? What do you want this brand to have been? The purpose of life is to extend and make better the purpose of life.
So what about us as brand? Where do we play in this conversation?
That's why for 20 years when I work with companies, I have leaders at all levels write a legacy statement. Forget a mission statement. I ask them this question. You better be doing this because you think it's the right thing to do, because if you don't, you'll never connect with your customers and your employees in a way because they will know it's not real. Remember that slide from earlier?
Because here's what we know about engagement. We know people do not leave businesses, they leave managers. So I'm going to give you 3 things you can do the moment you leave this room to change that recognition score in your company. Every one of us knows this thief is alive in our life because this is the thief that tells us that life is a contest. This is the thief that tells us that the reference point for the good life is how we compare with others. If I'm losing and someone else is winning, they must be at fault.
That's not the way we're going to engage people with our brand. Everything I've done in business, if I'm honest, has been for myself. He said there is nothing I am doing in business that is about creating the world those kids and their children are going to live in.
So are we going to just deal with the conversation out there, or are we going to have the courage to deal with the conversation in here?
What will my generation actually be remembered for? What will our legacy be? You see, this is our moment. There's work to be done.